Hey everybody, welcome back for another episode of Teamfight Talkshow. Normally I'm not doing the intros, but this week Doa is not with us, but thankfully Esportslaw is able to join us. We call him Bryce. So I am your host for today. Bryce, welcome to the show. Your second time around. So I know we actually have not got a chance to talk on a podcast together. How you doing, man?
I'm happy to be here, man. Love the show. It's always fun to tag team in for one of you guys. So good to be here.
Oh, that's right. And this week we're back with another guest of the duos tourney players. Last time we had the 31/32 Kyuties featuring Emily Wang and Kiyun, and we have two players. They're arch nemesis, if you will. We have Soju and Prestivent. So just go ahead and check in with you. What have you been up to? I feel like you haven't been streaming much lately, but you've been kind of getting back on the horse.
Who, me or Prestivent?
You, Prestivent's actually been grinding the stream, man. I see him all the
Bro,
time.
wait, what do you mean? I streamed like 50 hours in the last 3 days.
Okay.
Yeah, but before that my friend visited, so I didn't have time to play. But
Okay, sure,
yeah.
sure. All right. Well, let's go ahead and check in with Prestivent. Why don't you do a formal introduction of yourself? I'm sure people are tired of seeing this perm-haired dude from Maryland.
Um, my name is Prestivent. Like my nickname is P God.
That's
Nice
it.
intro.
That's
Wait,
Wait. Pressman, Dan
well-
said that you're amazing at like every video game. Is this true? You're like challenger in League and immortal in Valorant and stuff.
I was, but it's like I'm like turbo washed.
Okay.
But it's like I was that before.
Fair enough. I mean, it shows that you're good enough at video games. Can you talk a little bit about how you know Soju? You call him Michael, your IRL friend. There's a lot of memes in chat saying it's Prestivent and his IRL friend as the duo team. Like, what's the background of how far you know Soju from back in the years?
We just met through like mutuals, like in like this one Discord server when I like how old are you in junior year of high school?
Like
16, 17.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was in junior year of high school. Either that or sophomore year. I don't remember
Wait,
which one exactly.
Discord was around when you were a junior in high school?
Dude,
Yeah,
we're old.
I'm 22.
Wait,
Okay.
you're not
He's
old.
old.
You're young. What? In my junior high school, we were using like AIM or something. Shit.
Yeah. Okay. And then so then you just started playing games together. Wait, was this back when Soju was like trying to be a League player? Is this like ancient history?
Yeah. It was like around that time because everyone was like still playing League back then. That was like the biggest thing. And then because this was like before like Fortnite like blew up or like even like like the phase where like Fortnite was like the thing. This is like well before that because we started playing Fortnite together.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
Were
so
you guys good at Fortnite?
yeah, who's better? Who carries who in Fortnite?
Okay, I was better when it first for the first like half. And then
Oh.
and then P got like cracked.
Oh, okay, got it. So just like TFT, got it. All right, so let's talk a little
We're
bit
still
about.
in the Soju better phase.
Let's talk a little bit about set 5.5 and talk a little about the tops that we have. We got a lot of different things that we want to discuss. So first things first is that we have patch 11.17 upon us with buffs to the championcy on your left, nerfs to the champions on your right, a couple of adjustments to items as well. That's some things that you don't see. For example, some rating items got buffed. Let's get some first impressions here, starting with Prestivent. Have you been able to play games today on 11.17? If so, what are some of the things standing out to you from all these changes?
I played a few games today. It seems like AD comps are like like really gonna come back into meta with like these changes and like. Okay, well, I played some games today and it seemed like what's called Vel'Koz was like still super strong. Lots of AD comps were still super strong. I didn't see like nearly as many reroll comps besides like Vayne or like or Kalista, so like the 1 stars, but none of the I didn't see any of the 3 cost reroll comps today, and I like that.
You like that? So I know that you played a ton of like the Riven comps and Lee Sin when you were climbing. You don't like that style?
No, I actually don't like that style. I only played Riven because okay, no, trust me, it's like I don't like force Riven. They just Mordog just gives me it.
Oh, okay. More dog.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, Soju, you're skeptical. So, actually, before we talk about your impressions, do you agree with what Prestivent's saying here on his first impressions in the patch?
I actually streamed this morning as soon as the patch came out.
Mhm.
I mean, I kind of. I think Vel'Koz is good. I think Heimer is complete trash. I don't even know why they nerfed Heimer because Heimer 1 was like already not that good. And then like Heimer 2 is still good probably, but it's nowhere near as good as he used to be. Like 20 mana is a lot, but also yeah, I think Vel'Koz is still really strong. Um, yeah, I don't know. Oh, also, you know how Yasuo got nerfed? I actually think Yasuo might be better now. Just because Heimer got nerfed, and that matchup was like unwinnable. And then what else got changed? Oh, I think Gwen is really strong. Um, and then Riven also got nerfed, which also shit on Yasuo. So I think Yasuo is a little bit better. Oh, Kale is really broken. Gwen's really broken. Heimer sucks.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the has the build changed at all? I know people used to like to play knights with Kale kind of as like this flex champion that you somehow fall into in the late game. Do you play a game with the build in mind that you want to go Kale?
Oh no, it's just like Ginsu DB, right? And then
Yeah.
any like healing Hodge, like Hodge DB, and then or Hodge BT, and then you can flex Aphelios and Kale. Like if you hit Kale too, it's really good because you don't have to run Ranger. So you basically have an open slot to play whatever you want. And you can
You
even
can
do like
flex
Avon
Draven
frontline if you
too.
want.
You can flex Draven too from that spot.
Yeah, you can, but Draven with DB is kind of bad.
Yeah, true.
Okay. There was a couple of reworks on this patch. I'm going to turn it over to Bryce here. There was two main big synergy reworks. Sentinel now, for example, doesn't buff with the health anymore. It buffs with the most items. And then Spellweaver's stacks no longer cap, meaning that they infinitely scale the AP, which got people theory crafting AP printer stuff. We've had Prestivent and Soju talk a little bit. Let's head it over to Bryce. What are your thoughts on these changes? Have you seen it really in action yet in a meaningful material way?
I've seen the Spellweaver stuff work out some, right? Like I know Jack, sorry, Jack was forcing Spellweaver reroll, brand Ziggs becomes Vel'Koz, play Cavalier frontline, you roll at 6, and I think he was finding a lot of consistency on it, just like forcing it, open forwarding. And that makes a ton of sense to me because with Spellweaver not being capped, Ziggs and Brand cast so many times over the course of those fights that, if as long as you can stall the fight out, it will work. What's weird is that Sentinels got a rework because I mean, it felt like it was actually Sentinels were coming back at the end of the last patch. Like Lucian had basically gone away for 4 or 5 days, and in the final couple days was very strong. I haven't seen any Sentinels working out today. Patch days are always weird though. People are gravitating towards like trying new stuff, and maybe people just like aren't trying to figure out if the new Sentinels are actually good.
Okay. I think a lot of people haven't really figured out, but the reason why they changed this was because there was the weird math
Yeah.
sentinels where you like avoided 2-star in Galio because you really wanted Akshan to get the buffs. So they decided instead to just prioritize based off items. Soju Prestivent, real quick, is there any comments you think on that, or just you haven't seen enough to make a conclusion yet?
I have something to say. I think this is like a super good change, and I think Lucian's actually like. Okay, well, I was saying this like before the last or before like the third day of the tournament. I was telling Michael that Lucian is actually like pretty strong, and he told me that if I play,
Yeah.
I'm going 8th. But the thing is, I feel like it's actually strong because I'm pretty sure GS, you just go triple damage Lucian, triple damage on Lucian. Like it's like Last Whisper GS +1, and then it's just broken. Now that they buff GS and Sentinel, it's a fucking wrap. Oh, I mean, it's a wrap.
It's okay, man. It's okay. Your mom's not watching, I think.
Okay.
You can say you can swear. You can swear. It's fine.
I mean,
No,
I think
yeah,
Lucian's like a tempo unit. So like
Yep.
last patch, if you hit Lucian on stage 3, you're actually chilling. But the thing is, like Lucian starting stage 5 is so bad. You just can't kill anything. But like this patch, I think Lucian's actually good because now you can actually upgrade your frontline without feeling like
like you're griefing
your
yourself.
team's just bad.
You also
Yeah.
But yeah,
not only
Lucian's
see
actually good
Lucian
this patch, I
items a lot
think.
on Mogs, which is nice.
Okay, agreed. I mean, at least it's interesting to think about. And so, with the fact that a lot of people love flexing AD and whatnot, just out of curiosity, is there one item component what's the item component that you're starting, Preston? What are you starting right now?
Either BS or the bow.
Okay, flexing AD.
Yeah, and if I can't, then it would be like belt and just play like between like either AD or AP.
Okay, I mean that's just the generic line that a lot of people take. And Soju, are you doing the same thing?
I mean, yeah, if you're actually trying, I think it's Bow or BF. I played a bunch of games of Glove Opener and I full open and and try to play Nocturne, but I died before Raptors 3 games out of 4.
I
But yeah,
watched Hunter stream because I think you hosted him after your stream,
yeah.
and I was watching him do the same thing where he was like Nocturne only, and it was just like either he was like dying like before Raptors, or he was just like going top 2 and it was too free.
I'm pretty sure you don't like open for Sins. You need that HP to stabilize. Like it's really hard to play Sins from behind, I think.
Yeah, but it's more fun because you have perfect items to everything.
True.
Yeah, just ask Setsuko how open Fort Sins was going for him the past couple of weeks. Bryce, what are you starting in terms of your item components right now?
I mean, I don't have that much time to play, so I'm just starting belt and like taking whatever the game gives me, and I like playing a lot of different stuff. But it's almost certainly sword or bow start if you're like really trying to try hard and climb.
Okay. I definitely agree there, especially with the nerf to Heimer. AP just feels like it's taking a step back. But that's just some of our early impressions. I'm sure like the next time we have the show, we'll have a little bit more in depth on like how the meta is developing. So we'll see if those changes to Spellweaver and Sentinels into being relevant. But we're gonna move on to our next segment, which is a fan favorite. It's Agree. And it's a segment where we ask questions or post statements here, and we ask the panelists and the chat to agree or disagree. Let's go ahead and fire up the first one. 3 cost champions shouldn't be dropped in stage 1. These are the orbs that you get, and a lot of times you get like the Nidalee, the Riven, or other things like Nunu. And that has been a source of complaints for players throughout the entire time that this has happened. So let's go ahead and start things off with Soju. Agree?
The easiest degree of my life. It's so broken. Someone gets dropped a Riven, a Lee Sin, a Nidalee, they're just in a 20 times better spot than someone that gets dropped gold. You take Nidalee and 5 gold total, so Nidalee plus 2 gold versus 6 gold every time. Because a Nidalee is worth like infinite gold.
Yes, so it's a balance issue, right? You're basically what you're saying. The three cost champions are just too skewed to certain champions that you get versus others.
Yep, agreed.
Okay. P God, what about you?
Agreed.
Okay, so this is the part of the show. This is your first time, so I'm giving you a pass. This is Soju's third time on the show, so you know he's kind of got it figured out. Usually, we want you to elaborate on your ideas.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I feel like he said everything that needed to be said about that. So, I think it's kind of true. Like some 3 costs, they're just like way too powerful compared to like if you don't get dropped any. There's like they're like way too powerful compared to like a 1-star 1 cost or 1-star 2 cost. There maybe like some like 2-star 1 cost that can keep up or like keep pace with them, but it's not. But it's like you have to hit 3 of them, whereas like a Nidalee on stage 2, you only have to hit 1, and you just like your power just increases by so much.
Also, their typing gives you like way too much direction. Like Lee Sin being Skirm, Nidalee being Skirm, and you can just pair it with like the worthless like Olaf Udyr, and it's just like you just have there's too many 3 synergy like outs.
Interesting. Okay, Bryce, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I strongly disagree with this. I think that there's recency bias going on right now that specifically in set 5.5, 3 costs have been a little bit overtuned for a long time. And I think the typing, like Soju said, is absolutely correct that because Skirm Sentinels has been by far the best opener of the set for essentially the entire set, there were too many drops that gave you like clear direction into that. And then you've also, on top of that, like, you know, you add Yasuo to the mix, which you can immediately start to slam Yasuo items, claim the direction. There's a ton of other early Nightbringers. It's easy to attack in Legionnaires. Like, it's really easy to build a Yasuo board early. And so I think specifically this set has given 3 costs give more direction they typically would, and they have been stronger than they probably should be. And so it feels it is a high roll to get 3 costs right now, absolutely. But if you take a step back and think about this from a macro perspective of like making the decision for all of the future of TFT, early game is by far the most linear part of TFT, right? Like in almost every meta, it is not correct to ever roll in the early game. And if you are only building boards around 1 and 2 cost units, the number of like viable early game boards and board creativity goes way down, like way down. So I think if the units are balanced and there's only a couple of them that are big high rolls, sure, like there's a lot of ways you can high roll throughout a game of TFT. If you high roll early, doesn't mean you're gonna high roll middle or late. So I think that having 3 costs come out of box forces players to be more creative in how they approach the early game, and I think that's a win for TFT.
Okay, I'm about to change to disagree. Actually, you convinced me. What?
We did it. Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I guess this makes it easy for me to disagree too. But like the reason why is because I think that these kinds of moments need to exist, largely because you can't really undervalue the kind of direction that you can give to a player and introduce hard decisions. Right now, I think that there's meaningful moments. The only thing that I wish is that I got like 2 more seconds to make a decision if I need to sell this and buy the shop or sell this and pre-level, because they don't ever give it to me, because it's always the last creep minion that drops the 3-cost champions. It always tilts me like nothing else. So
Agree on that.
All right. So Prestivent, do you want to change your answer before we reveal what chat said?
I mean, Bryce is pretty convincing, but I still think it's like, I think if they fix the the typing, like how Michael said, there's like way too many outs, like say like 3 scrums or something like that. Like paired with 1 cost, you get like a 3-cost drop. It's fine, but but like with the typing has right now, I would say that it shouldn't be dropped.
No, Preston didn't play last set. Like Bryce, you're really right on like the Nidalee. It's just that you're able to get dropped Nidalee or Lee Sin, and you instantly just your early game is saved.
Yep. Plus,
But
Riven,
last
I
set,
mean,
it's not like the 3 costs were so bad because they were balanced around Chosen. So
and there's more There's more carries this set too, right? In previous sets, you know, getting a Kindred or something early was insane, right? But that was like the only unit that if you got dropped out of a box, it was like, oh my god, it's saved because this can carry me for like the first 3 stages of the game.
yeah.
Oh yeah, this set's my first set playing TFT, so I don't really.
That's
know too much
wild,
about
by the way. You're so good for being your first set.
All right, we're gonna move on before I get depressed listening to P guy talk about how he hasn't really played much and he's better than me. All right, let's go to the second agree. Nice one, good start. Climbing in TFT is more about knowledge than skill. We're gonna put this one up on the screen just a moment here. Climbing in TFT is more about knowledge than skill. Prestivent, you take this one first.
Can we start with Bryce here?
Okay, let's start with Bryce so that he can tell Soju what his answer should be.
It's just we were kind of talking about it before the show, and I'd rather
okay.
his.
Yeah, this is fair. Okay, I came up with this one, so let me frame this up a little bit before I give my answer. I'm of the belief that there's 2 distinct things that make a great TFT player, and that everything that goes into good TFT falls into one of 2 buckets. One of them is knowledge, and the other one is skill. Right? Skill is board creativity, like being able to see all the units and flexing it out. It's positioning. It is roll speed and identification of units and transitioning. It is, you know, scouting and making decisions based off of that. Right? There's a ton of skill-based things in the game of TFT. There's also a ton of knowledge, right? Like if you're, and I feel this more acutely, I think, than most players, because I can play the game at a high challenger level, but because I have a full-time job and because I'm a dad, I wind up playing like Soju's played more games than me in the last set than I have in my life, and I've played since set 1. Right? So it takes me a while to catch up on the knowledge. Like I can't just no life it for the first 72 hours of a set, play infinite games, learn all the units, like do all that stuff and be able to you know, have that knowledge to like leverage for the rest of the set. So I think the premise of the question is which of these 2 things is influencing climbing more? You know, I agree with this statement. I think climbing in TFT is generally speaking more about knowledge and skill. I think that I can take someone who I literally like have a friend that had never played TFT before, and I gave him a really basic playbook and said, like, if you do this stuff and you understand like basic dynamics of the game, frontline, backline, whatever, you can climb and hit masters no problem in like 65, 70 games, and he did. Now, I think if you want to like climb all the way into high challenger, knowledge alone isn't going to cut it because everyone in high challenger has that knowledge. But I think for most players, if you actually are making correct decisions about like what units are stronger in the early game, who holds what items, and how to transition, and you play pretty narrow, I think that's going to influence your climb more than skill expression, because we see like high challenger players. You know, you can watch Ray's stream for less so now, but like for a long time, he was high challenger, never scouted, never scouted, never positioned his board, just like sat there. And tons of top players do that.
Like that,
yeah,
a lot.
I mean, yeah, no flame to Ray, right? Like I love the kid. So it's just I think that knowledge tends to influence climbing more than skill.
Okay, wow, that was a lot to unpack. I can go second if you want a little bit more time to think, because I agree with what Bryce is saying, largely because I've seen Bryce try to side swap in positioning, and man, does this guy go so freaking slow. It's like he's like,
Boomer,
okay,
man.
I'm gonna move and sweat this Zephyr, and he moves the Zephyr into the place where he wants to Zephyr with like 4 seconds left. I'm like, this is not sweating Zephyr positioning, man. You're giving your guy infinite time to react. And he's like, no, 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 I got it, got it. And he like clicks and drags everything super slow, and I just watch him play. So I hard agree. It's more about
Yeah.
knowledge and skill.
Yeah,
'Cause I watch
Dan
Bryce
said
every
all of that, and I'm better at TFT than him, so I
It's
have to
true.
agree.
That's what's the frustrating part. Like watch him, I'm just like he does it so slow, and he complains like, why am I so slow? I don't know. It's a go next. All right, Soju, what do you think?
I mean, I think for like the casual players, I think it is true because like so I basically taught my sister how to play six skirm last set or like set 5, and it was just like you just hold your items. I just gave her like a 5-minute rundown, and she hit D1 instantly.
Yep.
But like the thing is, it's like I think if you want to actually be like a consistent top 10 player, it is about skill. Like all the players in top like consistently top 10 are have a lot of knowledge and they also have a lot more skill. Um, but I think you can easily climb to like 1.2 by just playing narrow, as Bryce said. So like I don't want to copy Bryce's answer again. So it's like agree and disagree. I think it's agree up to a certain point because you get capped way too hard.
Okay. Can I ask a
Yeah.
follow-up question before precedent? What do you think are the major categories of skill in TFTR? Can you break it down? Like how like you can just say like different big ones that stand out to you.
Mm, I think the biggest indicator of skill is honestly early game. I think when you watch a bad player play, their early game is just it's so questionable. They have like no direction. Like sometimes they're just forcing a win streak, but there's actually a lot of like toggling between like committing to board, committing to bench, committing to econ, stuff like that. Items to go for, item slamming, positioning, saving HP, like game plan. There's just like a lot of stuff in the early game. I think starting like stage 4-1, it's only positioning. There's no more decisions. You already by 4-1, you've already committed to what you want to play, and it's just like if you hit or you don't hit. Obviously, if you're high rolling though, like the game doesn't really start until like 5-1 or maybe like 4-5. But I think the early game is just like recognizing the resources you're given early game.
I also agree with this, but it's like the reason why I agree with it is like more so because I feel like I was like kind of shown that climbing in TFTs are more about knowledge and skill, like up to a certain extent. Because like before when I first started playing this game, so like Michael like basically kind of like taught me the game since I'm like really new to it. But when I first started playing the game, he didn't teach me anything yet, and I was just trying to like climb like with my own like with what I learned like by myself from like actually playing like the experience I gained. And like every single turn, you don't understand. I would like push up my glasses. I would like units.
Okay. All right. Well, good to know that there's edge to be gained on Prestivent for anybody who wants to beat him in tournaments. So there you go.
No,
talk
honestly
about-
though, in tournament play, scouting is fake because everyone's swapping sides. That if you don't swap sides, a lot of the times they misposition against you.
Right.
I don't think it's fake. I just think the mind games are way more intricate as a result of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so a quick aside, as chat does agree with this question, but they also seem to take a little grievance with how this was phrased. This was sort of a last second. This was the shadow items of agree questions. Okay. We just kind of made this shit up and threw it into the show and be like, it should probably be okay. And then like kind of we're like, all right, well, we're committed. And now that we got through this question, we're gonna move on.
Yeah, that's why it was second. It's the forgettable number of the agrees.
But so quick aside is that in Hearthstone there was a format kind of like this where people debated whether or not queue order mattered, and the basic conclusion was that it was effectively random amongst top players. So I think position is the same. It's effectively random. You can choose to try to gain edge. You can also do nothing, and your odds are probably about the same. All right, so let's go into question number 3, statement number 3. Popular streamers' opinions on TFT are overrated. Agree? Let's start with Prestivent here.
Hard agree, because Michael is probably is like the most popular TFT streamer, but I feel like lots of times, like, other top players will probably differ from him, and someone like Milk or like Salvi or something like that, right? I feel like I would trust their word more than Michael's, because I feel like they might be like a little bit better, but I feel like the general Twitch chat would probably trust Michael a lot more.
Oh, okay. This guy taught you the game, and you're saying that you feel like you shouldn't trust his opinion that much.
Oh no, it's not that. I'm just saying that it's because he's a popular streamer, right? That his opinion is like people take it like with like a lot take his opinion like a lot heavier than like like other good players as well, or like people like on the same skill level.
All right, I'm gonna get to rebuttal right here, right now. Do you want to go second here?
Okay, so I don't know why Prestivent thinks I'm like bad at the game. So like this is like one complaint I have is that like okay, yeah, sometimes things are like exaggerated, but I still think like I'm not just like exaggerating things for no reason. I think like Heimer right now is trash. Like and that's like no cap. Like I think Kale is really strong. Kale was even strong last patch, and then they buffed her. Like an Offshot got nerfed, like stuff like that, right? But like I really think that even if you're like just like okay, I'm not saying I'm like as skillful as Tens, right? Because Tens is like cracked, right? He's like a really big streamer and he's like amazing at Valorant. And I think like I'm definitely like not as good at TFT as I used to be because I've just been like kind of just playing for fun. But like I still think I'm like a top 10 player for sure. And I don't even think it's close. But like so I just wanted to shit on Preston real quick. This guy has had no respect for me since the 6-something years that I've met him. But anyway, I actually disagree. I think that like my okay, like define popular. Like if are you talking about me? Because like I think like usually like if you're talking about like popular streamers just based on viewership, then I would agree. But I think that I'm actually it's like a unique scenario because I think I actually know the game. Like I actually know TFT. I mean I play like 10, 15 hours a day.
So wait, just to be clear, you agree with the statement as it relates to other popular streamers, but as it relates to you, you disagree with the statement.
Yeah, because I think my opinions are correct.
Wait,
Oh,
I
yeah,
want to
okay.
clarify something. I don't think Michael is bad. I think he's like definitely like a top 10 player. But it's like if his opinion is like different from like say like another top 10 player, then I feel like the general like TFT population would agree more so with Michael than let's all like the other like top 10 player, since he's like like the most popular streamer.
Dan, I'm down to pivot the tier list to a list of people that Prestivent would trust over Soju when giving TFT advice.
Or maybe just like who has the best opinions tier list, just straight up top 10
Yeah,
and go 1 to 10.
I like it.
This is really funny. I like how Soju opened very flex with the answer. Like he actually went 5 different directions. He wanted to reply to Prestivent. He wanted to flame Prestivent. He wanted to talk about himself. He talked about Tens, a world champion in an extremely mechanical game, and then he related it back to himself. So there's a lot of direction that Soju gave us there. So yeah, do we need to agree? Is it agree or disagree, Soju? We didn't even actually get an answer from you.
Okay, can I just hear from you guys first?
Oh no, none of that. I think we give him a disagree. I think that overall the thrust of his answer.
I think it's disagree.
Yeah, I think it's a disagree. All right, Bryce.
Soju, when you took tests, were you like just waiting for other people and like looking at their papers the whole time? Or
No,
was that
I
dynamic,
don't.
like-
I don't cheat.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Okay. I agree with this statement, but I also don't think it's the streamer's fault. I think that people don't think about why in TFT enough. So like like someone says, Soju says Heimer is trash. And then a whole bunch of people that watch him are like, all right, I'm never buying Heimer. I'm never playing Heimer. And it's like, okay, it's trash, but if you're Omega high rolling and in the AP tree and have the right items and you happen to high roll a Heimer too, it's insane, right? So the problem is that people, when Soju will play, Lucian 3 games in a row and bot 4 all 3 games and be like, Lucian is trash. It doesn't mean he's never playing Lucian. It just means that Lucian is what he's probably trying to communicate in an entertaining way is that Lucian is weaker than other 4 costs, right? Heimer is a weak 5 cost right now. And so I think the problem is that people just don't think critically about what is being communicated from streamers. And so then I will talk to my friend and they'll be like, I was watching this streamer and he told me like, don't, like, this is bad, don't do this. And so it's like doesn't play the unit no matter what. So yeah, I mean, I'm down to I guess I'm down to agree with this statement, but I blame the people that are listening, not the people that are streaming.
Okay, hold on. I'm about to change my
Flame
answer
Soju's
again.
fan base. You just flamed his entire chat.
I mean,
No, I agree though. I actually kind of want to change to agree, just because. But it's like still disagree. But I honestly think Bryce is more so disagree. Actually, it's not like it's. I agree. It's not my fault. You know what I mean? It's like.
Oh, I agree with that.
Like if I say 6 skirm is trash, it's not that it's like late game it's trash, but the thing is, it's like sometimes you have to play it mid game given like your resources, you know. So is like Lucian, like you have to play it mid game sometimes, but I don't mean the unit's trash. Like there's no trash unit. Like every unit can be played mid game. It just depends like what your items are and like what your board state is. But I think like as it goes to like later and later into the game. Okay, anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Dan.
All right, so Soju changed it to agree, and he said that Bryce should change it to disagree because based off his answer. I'm just gonna disagree because I have seen this song and dance play out so many times across the games, especially if games of variance, where I think a lot of the discussion is very hard to have, right? Because everything is just like so volatile with experience. Streamers, popular streamers in particular, they are popular because they have spent so much time playing the game in front of an audience. And more importantly, especially as I put in the hours of streaming myself, especially for TFT, is that I've started realizing that the popular streamers are Riot's and every game developer's, biggest QA testers. They like really, to a certain extent, have put in such an enormous volume of time that's inhumane to a certain degree. Like, just look at Soju putting like that 30-hour stream in a row where his match history score takes up literally like half the screen because it's just a bunch of numbers ranging from 1 to 8. And so, like, people are putting a ton of time into it. So are they overrated? Absolutely not. They're extremely valid, and they are some of the most qualified people to have opinions on the state of TFT, especially if you dumpster dive into things like the competitive TFT or the regular TFT subreddit. You go on social media and just read the replies to Mortalk. There are some absolute hot trash garbage takes on the internet about what TFT is or what it should be. And so I would absolutely take it in a heartbeat, the popular streamers' opinions, way over any casual fan, which is such a catch-22 because Riot wants to design the game around their experience.
Okay, I'm changing to disagree. Okay, that's a disagree. You're actually right.
So, are they over now? Are they sometimes a little outlandish and extreme and a little bit too rage-induced? Yeah, absolutely. But are they overrated? Definitely not for me. So.
Boom.
All right. Well, that was my little rant. Chat agreed, although it does seem like it's being discussed back and forth. This was a good one. Let's go ahead and wrap up this segment with our fourth and final one, which actually comes with a media clip here. We have a Twitch clip that contextualized, but the statement is there's no such thing as a ladder warrior. Let's go ahead and play.
You know you're a bad player when a player says, "Wow, this guy's a ladder warrior, but it's so bad in tourney."
That's what I'm trying to tell my chat. That's what I'm trying to say.
No such thing.
There's no such thing. The only thing that's indicative skill is just spamming 500 games and then you just see your LP.
Okay, so this clip, there's no such thing as a ladder warrior. It basically means that ladder skill is equivalent to tournament skill. There's no real differentiation between the two. Am I getting the general gist of this right, Bryce?
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Can I just start on this one? I want to start on this one. I can rant for 20 minutes on this. Okay. let me just start off and say that a lot of people see my recent tourney scores, but I've been preaching this since set 1. And basically set 4, what happened was I actually had the most tourney points out of like any top player. And 20 points is like based on your placement in like all 4 of the qualifier tournaments that had like the qualifier to regionals. But anyway, so I was first list for that. So like it's not just like, oh yeah, this guy doesn't perform, that's why he says that there's no such thing as lateral. Because I have performed. It's my opinion has not changed. And a lot of people, I think a lot of people are bringing up like New Bowel and like in DQA, like how they just placed like 15 out of 16, even though like they were probably like favored to win on like with Ramblin' and Robin. But like the thing is, it's like TFT is one of those games where your opener is there's like let's say you play 100 games. If even like two out like in a tournament, like let's say 15 games is like a good average, right? Or a total amount of games. But like even on the first day, right? You're only playing like let's say 6 games. Even if one of your games is a bot 5 variance over 100 games, like bot 5% of like the 100 game variance, your like tournament, your potential to pop off in this tournament is already almost zero, especially at like a high level tournament. I think if you're playing in a tournament full of bots, there's a lot of like leniency because it's just because like a lot of times other people will just troll and then they don't use their resources as effectively as you. But I think when regionals comes around, all 16 players are going to be cracked, and there's no like your ladder ranking is literally indicative of your skill. But the problem is a lot of the time the player with the most LP won't high roll as hard or like isn't guaranteed to high roll harder than someone else that is like just barely below them. So if someone's like 1700 LP and someone's like 1600 LP in a 6-game sample size, it's like 1700 LP is a lot better than 1500 LP. Like the skill gap is huge. But the thing is when the sample size is only 6 games, there's just no diff. Like it's going to be like you're probably 55-45 favored. So like when someone that's 1700 LP doesn't perform and only loses like by that 55-45 favor, people are just like, oh, this guy's a ladder warrior, they can't perform in tournaments. No, it's just the sample size is so low. But you can't fix it because that's how TFT is. No one's going to sit here and play 100 games, you know? But yeah. So this is the hardest agree of my life. And I'm actually so adamant about this that I think that anyone here that disagrees, just don't talk. But anyway.
Woof. All right. So Soju drops the gauntlet. None of us can really disagree. Otherwise, he's going to tell us to shut up. Prestivent, you're on deck.
I agree with him. Like I agree with most of what he said. I don't think it's like, I mean, ladder is like like pretty indicative of like skill. It's like I don't think it's like a direct correlation. So it's like just because like someone's like rank 1, doesn't mean like they're better than like say like the rank 5 player. Because I feel like say like for like when he plays regionals and stuff, like every player in regionals is like extremely good, and they're like all super cracked, and like they're all beyond like that point where it's like I feel like after like a certain point in TFT, like past skill and knowledge and everything, it just boils down to luck. Because it's like all 16 regional players, like any one of them can like pop off and just win the entire tournament if they just get lucky like that day. Whereas like just because like one person like goes like bottom 8 just because they were like unlucky, I don't think it's like there's like like a big skill difference between like 8th place and 1st place, because I feel like they're like every single regional player is like just past that point where past the point where like skill or like where skill is like measurable, and it just boils down to luck for the tournament results.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Makes
for the
sense,
most
yeah.
part, I follow. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're basically saying that while skill expression can be a large gap between players that are in far different points on the ladder, that if we're literally talking about like the top 16 ladder players, the margin of difference between them is so small that mostly variance is affecting the outcome.
Oh yeah, wait, that was you said it like you said what I said like 20 times better.
I think you just said that.
Well, his job is to actually interpret what his client wants to say. So that's literally what Bryce does.
True. Agree.
Yep.
Dan,
right.
do you want to go next, or you want me? Because I'm gonna disagree strong here. So if you're gonna agree, you should agree, and then let me go. But if you're gonna disagree, then I'm happy to kick it off.
I agree because coming from Hearthstone in particular, the best tournament performers over time have always been the people who have been doing well on ladder. People who call themselves tournament players are very much so, right? Like they do prepare specifically for tournaments, that they perform better on tournaments than they do on ladder. There's also cases in TFT like Ramkev, for example, who can just like turn it up if he really needs to. So yes, there are exceptions, but that doesn't mean that there's enough exceptions to the rule to make me contradict and disagree with this. I think that those people are exceptional humans, and as a result, there's always going to be people who like stand out. But for the most part, as a general rule of thumb, absolutely, the ladder and your LP is indicative of the knowledge and skill and all the experiences that you've accumulated to that point. Does that mean that it's enough of an edge? I think it goes back to what Soju says. It's like, you at best maybe have like a slight 55-45 edge, but that doesn't mean that you have 100% edge, and yet there's expectations to deliver 100% of the time. And just play enough games of variance and you'll realize that 45% basically feels like 50-50 most of the time. Sometimes it feels like 50 being 55 favored feels like you're unfavored. It's just very shocking how that works to the human mind. So agree, but I don't want to go too long because I know that Soju Prestivent already talked about it. Bryce already gave us a little teaser. He's going to disagree. What do you say?
Yeah, okay, I disagree strongly. I'm be very curious, Soju, if I can flip you on this one, because I think that I can. All right, so here's the thing.
Wait,
Let's
you
start-
think that you can or you can't?
I think I can flip you on this answer.
Okay,
I really
okay.
think I can get you to go disagree by the time we're done. Okay, so this is going to
Okay.
be a little long-winded, but bear with me since I'm going against the entire group plus all of the chat here. So let's start with the premise, okay? The question is whether there is no such thing, right? So I'm not going to disagree with some of what Dan just said. Like Dan just said that ladder LP is generally indicative of skill in the game. That is generally speaking true. I agree with that. I don't think that you can get by and large to 1500 LP if you are not an outstanding player of the game if you're on one of the big regions. There are exceptions to that, of course, right? Like the Z patch, for example, where you had a whole bunch of people that were like in Challenger for the first time, high Challenger for the first time, like top 10 for the first time. And it's like, okay, those motherfuckers, they were not expressing that much skill in doing that, right? Like if they could stay up there, if they're Q and if they climb up there via mech, but then they're consistently top 10, that is telling us a lot more. So there are definitely patch states where ladder LP is not actually that indicative, but generally speaking, I think that it is fair to say that it is. But the question is whether there is no such thing as a ladder warrior. And I'm coming from the poker world, right? So I have like a lot of pertinent experience here, right? Poker is a game of high variance. You can have a bad day of poker, week of poker, month of poker, right? But in the long run, your skill will bear out. So it's not reasonable. This isn't, basketball. This isn't League of Legends. You can't expect the best player to win every single tournament in the way that you do in other games where it's just pure skill and the luck factor is very, very small. When you layer on top of that we don't play that many games, so it's a high RNG game, and then the variance is really, really high because the sample size is small. A tournament over tournament basis isn't telling us that much. But if you're a top 10 ladder player and you play in 3 years worth of tournaments, the whole time top 10 ladder, the whole time not doing well in tournaments, I think that is saying something about you. I think Ramkev is a great example. Ramkev does not use ladder to climb LP. He doesn't care, but he learns. I predicted Ramkev to make it out to be one of the top players out of NA, and I was so confident in that pick going into regionals, you guys. I studied every regionals player last set, and I was like, no one believes me, and this is completely going to happen because Ramkev was basically incapable of low rolling. That dude had re-rolled every unit in the game, carried every unit in the game, knew the ins and outs of every single tree, and his skill level was off the charts, and he processes shit in real time. So the gap between Ramkev and the rest of the field, minus Sox playing at his peak last regionals, was significant. Did that mean he was guaranteed to advance? Of course not. He could have easily just low rolled so hard that he did not advance, but there was a large margin between Ramkev and most of the players in the field. I would also layer on top of this that ladder games are so different than tournament games, right? When you play on ladder, what percentage of the time do you have at least 3 other world-class players in your lobby, right? Like 10% of your games, 20% of your games, depending on when you're queuing, right? In tournaments, you have everyone at that level. Everyone also cares, right? Like you play a bunch of ladder games where you're in the middle of a 24-hour stream, you're focusing on entertainment, like you're not hard sweating, you don't really care. This isn't like you're not playing every game of TFT to maximize your results. In regional championships, though, you are. And so is everyone in the field. So it's a completely different game from what gets played on ladder. And by the way, there are people who are really good at beating up on people who are less good than them. Like their skill expression is really good at beating people who are worse. Like at poker, for example, right? I am not as good at taking advantage of fish, but I am very good at beating other pros in poker. And that is a skill. And that is the same thing that happens in TFT. So no, I don't want to hear it. I'm not saying that I expect the best tournament player to win every tournament, but the notion that there's no such thing as a ladder warrior is crap. They're totally different environments of the game. You're expressing skill in different ways. No, there is a large gap, even when you're at the top 16 players in TFT. Period.
Damn. Esportslaw with the Viego drop trying to turn all of us. Did he flip you? Did he flip you, Soju?
No, I mean I do think there's valid points for sure. I think actually just recently, I'm saying that I'm playing to limit test versus playing to learn. So like for example, you could be in a really good spot stemming Sunfire here. You're guaranteed top 4. But the thing is, the knowledge that you gain from like not stemming the Sunfire and just going like blue buff and maybe playing around Gwen late game, you get a lot more knowledge for that. But I think that like when people like the thing that ladder warrior like the vibe that it gives me is that when people say that as an excuse, like when they're actually just like 800 LP and then they do well in a tournament, they're just like, oh yeah, like these guys are just ladder warriors. That's bullshit. Like you're just bad. And then like when people are like I think, and then when people call you a ladder warrior because you don't perform and you're actually like 1700 LP, it's not that you're bad, it's just that the expectations are like that. But I don't think that there's actually like a player that's just like consistently just doing poorly in tournaments since set 1. Like there's just not a single player. Like if you're a top player, there's always like there's always some tournaments where you just like pop off.
And to be clear, sometimes that's luck, and sometimes there is a skill gap going on there, right? I'm sure you have patches where you feel like you're a better player, and patches where you feel like you're a worse player.
But like going to what you said about Ramkev, like it's only convincing because you use Ramkev. Like no, that guy is good. Like I mean the thing is, it's like his LP is not indicative of his skill, but I think that's like a really specific example.
It's an exception, right? That's exactly what I was saying. Like
yeah, it's just an exception. It's not. Exceptions. That does not happen. Like the thing is, the reason he's low LP though, he's like just forcing like Udyr 3 reroll like half his games. But like that's good. You learn a lot. Like he's like if he wants to try, he's gonna pop up. But I think it's an exception. So I think it's not fair to use Ramkev.
I mean, to be, yeah, fair enough. I can let this topic drop.
I think we got to put a pin on it right here, but I think we had some great discussion, and ultimately I feel like it's circular, and I think we need to agree to disagree. What does chat say? Chat agrees, but ultimately I feel like we close these polls a little too early. Actually, if you look in chat, disagree end up taking over as Bryce was talking. He's very, very persuasive. Be careful. But also, if you need someone to represent you, you should also look at that. All right. So really good stuff, guys. Let's go ahead and move on to the esports section. We actually have news, a lot of news to talk about, but we only took the very big ones. The first has to be the big elephant in the room, which is Set 5 World Championship. The Reckoning Championship in China has been canceled in terms of being held in at LAN. It's going to be instead put online, similar to what happened for Set 4 for Fate's Championship, which has been met with mixed reception. Some players obviously said, wow, this is great. I didn't actually plan on traveling to China because it was going to put too much of a hold on my life, myself included even. I actually wasn't even sure I could go cast TFT Worlds in China just due to how much I would have to put my life on hold. And so if that was the case, some players said that they weren't going to opt in. However, some people also said that this was like the thing that they're looking forward to, right? They've been grinding all like 6 months for this opportunity, and they feel really disappointed that there's like a bait and switch. League of Legends World Championship moved from China to Europe. Why can't we do the same for TFT? So this is some of what's going on right now in sort of the conversation. Let's hop on board actually with Prestivent. I know that it's been a while since we checked in since Soju and Esportslaw had their title card fight. P-God. What are your thoughts on this this news here?
Wait, can I pass?
This guy did this in a winner's interview too. We like the winner's interview on the Duos tourney week 1. I asked him a question and he just stared at me for like 15 seconds. And Soju goes, "Hello, are you gonna say anything?" And he goes, "Nah, I think I'm passing on this one."
You absolutely may pass.
Or can I come back later?
Yeah, totally. I mean, if you don't have a strong opinion because it doesn't necessarily affect you, I know you're still kind of new to TFT competitive. You're just kind of playing tournaments for fun at the moment. By all means, skip. Let's go to Soju. I know that you were quite outspoken about how going to China was not ideal for you. Can you talk a little bit about how you're going to react to this kind of news now?
I mean, like the thing is, it's like I think I calculated like the EV of going to Worlds is like I think like 6K or something, but it's like 6K is a lot of money. Like don't get me wrong, but I'm not gonna commit like an entire month out of my schedule where I can't stream as often. I think Twitch is even banned in China. I have to go 2 weeks quarantine, flying, like all this garbage just to like compete in a tournament that I'm probably gonna get shit on at anyway. So it's like there's just no point. so like I was like pretty disappointed. So like after like 2 weeks, I kind of realized like, wait, I don't even want to go to China because of COVID. So I just like stopped playing. But then like someone leaked to me earlier that it was gonna be remote. I don't even wait. Am I even supposed to say that? Okay, whatever. But like someone told me that it was gonna be
Probably not.
remote. But I won't
Just
say
don't say
who.
who. Don't say
Don't
who.
rat.
Yeah, I
No,
just won't say
no,
who.
Stop
Yeah,
there.
no
Stop
rats.
there. Don't say another word, Michael.
Yeah, and then the moment I heard that, I was like, oh shit, I kind of wanna like try for regional. So I just hard sweated the 1 week snapshot thing. And it was kind of sad. I almost didn't make it. It was kind of sad. But to be fair though, I had to play Twitch Rivals. So like I didn't really have time to actually play like on the last couple of days. But anyway, um yeah. Like it's good news. I was actually reading something on Reddit about it. Where like someone announced the news and then Nubel actually responded saying like, "Oh, like I'm playing and like I agree, I'd much rather have it." Yeah, it's just like I think a lot of top players actually didn't even it's not even just me. A lot of players didn't want to commit an entire month of their schedule to play in something that they can literally just play online, you know? But like if there was like a LAN in like the States, dude, I'd fly there instantly. It'd be so much fun. But I don't want to fly like international to compete. But yeah.
I think it'd be dope if all the NA players play from the same area, similar to what they did in Korea, because
Mhm.
it was like a cool moment when, like, thank God the winner of set 4, right, AJ Walking, had a cam, had someone to be there with him to make the moment relevant. Otherwise, if it was a camless person, like winning in a format where we just can't really connect to, it's just not that exciting compared to like what it could be in LAN. And
Yeah, I
ultimately,
agree.
what really drives these tournaments is hype. So we obviously want that. Um, is this the thing that just sets back TFT esports? I mean, we've survived worse. Like honestly, I just feel like we've never really got a chance to get started. Bryce, how are your feelings on like reading this news right here?
I mean, I think it's good. I think it's the correct decision. It's a hard decision. It sucks, right? It'd be fun to play a LAN TFT event, but I mean, it became a competitive integrity issue at the point where you have a huge percentage of the top players, not just in NA, but in other regions, saying like, "I don't know if I can do this if it happens in China." Then we were going to live in a world where it was like, "Okay, here's the top 3 finishers from NA, but 2 of them have said no, but then the 4th person says no, and the 5th person says no, and so all of a sudden it's like the 6th or the 7th person in the tournament winds up getting the spot. So that would feel real bad. I'd much rather have the players that qualify to play and have it be from far away. That's it is what it is. Like COVID sucks. There's nothing we can do about it. Like no one's happy about making the change. And I feel for the person who posted on Reddit who was like, "This was my dream. I was so excited to do this." I deeply empathize with that person on a human level, but it doesn't mean that the decision was wrong. The decision was objectively correct.
Yep, that's right. And that's going to be a situation where everyone's just going to play online. Hopefully, the ping isn't going to be that big of an issue, but that is one of the advantages of TFT that they can get away with doing that. And also might actually end up being something longevity wise good for TFT. Like people say, why can League or Valorant have these offline finals? It's like, because they can't play online. Do you understand how terrible of an experience it is to have ping in game where millisecond reaction time determines whether or not your plan succeeds or fails? In TFT, that can play a factor. Of course, like rolling down 100 gold on 200 ping doesn't feel great, but at least it's still playable. We'll see. Maybe I'll end up eating my words, and this clip ages poorly. We do want to talk about one other piece of esports news, and it is relevant to Soju and Prestivent. So maybe P God wants to talk a little bit about this. We have our top 4 teams from the Giant Slayer series, featuring Ramblin' Robin, which is Robin Songs and Ramblin', Soul Cat for Econ with Radis and #1 point earner, as well as Broccoli. We're going 8th with Bert and HJW, which is, by the way, a very similar setup because Bert just invited his IRL friend and taught him how to play the game to try to play him for the tournament. And we have 8875 with Soju and Prestivent. So I know you two were in call with Key and Emily, Milk and all them during the tournament, but I kind of wanted to just relive that moment where you knew that you barely got in. So Prestivent, what was it like watching your fate hang in the balance and you couldn't do anything about it?
It was definitely like nerve wracking, and like during the last game, I was kind of shaking. But like I was more so shaking because of the side wagers that we had with Milk and Becca more than like actually qualifying. Like qualifying is like it's like super exciting that like we qualified, but like to be honest, like after our performance on week 3, day 1, I kind of like like brace myself for like like to expect to not qualify, and I was more so focused on like the wager that we had because I didn't want to like lose. I wanted to at least win like like one of the categories, but we ended up winning both. And like watching it happen, like it really okay. Well, I mean, it really sucks. So it's like the like Milk and Becca couldn't like make it to the finals. Like I wish they could have, and it would have been really fun like playing with them as well. But I'm kind of happy I didn't have to dye my hair.
What? So it seems like you are just picking fights with all the streamers. You're like picking on Emily. You're picking on Becca. Is there something out here? Are you just trying to challenge all the TFT streamers, or is just all for fun?
Oh, it's just for fun. It's like making like like bets and like competition and all that and like trash talk. It just makes the competition a lot more fun.
I agree.
Yeah, he was telling me to like talk shit about the other players on this show, but it's like, dude, we're the worst team in the finals. So like, how do you talk shit here?
Hey,
but
there is
being
no
the worst
Soju,
team
there
in
is no
finals-
worst team. It's just a coin flip. It doesn't matter.
No, like here it matters.
Yeah, but being the worst team, or being the worst team coming into the finals, it's not even a bad thing because I thought about, or I said this before, like especially for like me, because I was probably like the worst player like in the tournament, like before like like even the finals, but like I came into the tournament, I literally have nothing to lose. Like I'm coming in with like like no expectations, so it's like I can't disappoint anyone, and the only thing that can happen is like so it's like a win-win for me. And it's
Unless you lose, and then everyone's like, why is this guy talking shit?
Oh, true.
Then it's a win-lose.
No, that's why he tells you to talk shit though, because if you do it, then he doesn't lose anything, but it goes on your name.
No, but
Like,
honestly, though,
I've seen this
Prestivent did
script
like really
before.
well this tournament. But this is what I'm saying. Like Prestivent is like I like Prestivent's my boy and all, but like the thing is like I watch him play, he's like not good. He's like 700 LP right now. He's like no. The thing is he knows he's not good. But the thing is like he actually scored like middle of the pack, if not like probably like
I was
in the
top
middle of the
guy.
pack, right? Probably a little bit top, like a little bit better, right? But it's like, dude, some of his ribbon openers were so reportable. Like they were so. It was just a guaranteed first. It doesn't matter how you play it. It was just a guaranteed first. And like, but anyway, that's like another rant. But yeah, but Pigod actually played really well this tournament, especially when like half the players were actually like cracked.
True. Okay. Fair enough. Bryce, any reactions to our top 4 teams? Do you actually think 87.5 is the weakest team? I know they already added some commentary to that.
I'm pretty sure that there's one like actual like there's a Raymond and Robin have like an omega edge going into the final day, and anyone else I think is like roughly equal in terms of likelihood
I
of
agree.
success. I need to
Yeah.
see
true.
how their individuals are playing in the patch, and if there's a good like Piga was playing a bunch of composition that was a little low roll resistant because you could 3-star a bunch of different units. It was pretty linear in terms of its path, and it was really strong in the meta. And so like that can like again that was kind of goes back to the knowledge over skill thing. Like I think that if you have a good game plan going in, you can make up a lot of that edge. And then for anyone other than Ramblin' Robin to win this tournament, Ramblin' Robin has to low roll, in my opinion.
All right, so it's Raymond, Robin, Gap, and then doesn't really matter. Pick 3 teams. That's the tier list that we just impromptu made. Let's go ahead and do the real tier list.
Yes,
That is
I'm
our
so ready
next
for this one.
segment. So this tier list is going to rank the regional competitors, the regional finals tier list. And it does include Soju, but Soju will be actively participating. But it's a collaborative effort between Soju and Prestivent. So it's up to you two. You can choose to, alternate or like kind of go 1 through 16. But we open the floor. It's your list. You can kind of do it however you want. Soju?
Do you guys
Okay.
have the list? Do you have the list of
You have
players?
the list?
Okay, honestly, you know how you say like I don't want to steal Prestivent's participation, but I think Prestivent doesn't even know half these players.
Okay. So why don't
But
we
you
do
can
this
feel like
then?
Prestivent, feel free to chime in. But like
Yeah.
I low key think he has no idea who half the players are.
That's kinda true.
How about we have Prestivent place players that he does know then?
Okay, yeah, sure. Let's do that first.
Oh,
Prestivent.
really? Okay.
Who do you know from this list? You know Soju, you know Michael.
Just don't place me. Don't place me. I can place myself. Don't worry.
Don't place it. Okay.
No, definitely place him.
Like
Definitely
players
place
I
him.
know of.
Okay, Milk. Milk is the first on the list here. Where does he go?
And you
Okay,
You
can
can
go
always
around.
rearrange, by the way.
Yeah.
You
Milk
can
top
rearrange.
3. Oh wait,
Top
do I have to give like a? Is it okay if I give like say like a range like say like top 3, like top 5, like 3 of 5? I
Yeah,
don't.
so
It's like hard for me to like.
what you should do, here's what we'll do. Just tell a number for the player, and then you can rearrange afterwards if it doesn't look
Yep.
right.
Oh, okay. Milk top 3. New Battle top 3.
I don't think Nibel's top 3.
Really?
You gotta
Oh,
let him go.
it's
You let him
not.
go, and then
There's
you
some
get
fucking
you get to
crack
adjust.
players.
Let him go.
New
This
Battle
is
top
going
3.
to what like he's not a ladder warrior. He's not only good at ladder, but I think that there are players better than him. It's just that LP is not
at
indicative.
tournaments. Oh wait,
No, it's not at tournaments. It's just that LP is fake.
Wait,
interesting.
what?
That's a,
Oh, you're saying
No,
right
LP
now,
is fake.
right
LP is
now,
fake. Trust
LP
me,
is fake.
because
Right now.
it's it's Ramkev and Pocky that are the exceptions. That LP is fake.
Okay. Well, let's let Prestivent do his thing. So New
Okay.
Battle Milk top 3. Who
Wait,
else?
can I instead of top 3, can I do like a top 5?
yeah, keep going. You'll
Yeah.
rearrange.
Okay, Milk top 5, New Battle top 5, Pocky top 5, Kyun top 5, and Bert top 5.
Have you seen Kyun play recently? He's
Okay.
bot 5.
Okay, no, but the thing is, he said he's gonna like Omega Sweat, right?
Bro, he's not sweating.
okay.
He's playing in plat.
Okay.
It's true. He has an
Okay,
unranked
okay,
account
current-
trying to go to rank 1.
Okay, current skill level like as of today then?
No,
Kyun's not
no,
buff.
not current skill level. It's
No,
Oh, yeah,
no,
like
for
going
regional.
into
For
regionals.
regional.
for regionals.
going
Yeah,
into
for
regionals?
regionals.
Okay.
For regionals. Yeah,
Okay, Kyun top 5. And then I can't rank Michael, right?
you can. Yeah.
fuck.
Sure.
You
Yeah,
can, but
yeah, you can put him. You can put him under this.
Okay, wait, how do I fit Ramkev into top 5 here?
Oh,
You can't.
is everyone just
Someone
top
else
5? Like what?
Yeah.
Because
Okay,
what about
alright.
socks? It's not like what?
Oh, how do I fit him in the top 5 also?
No, I think you should just give them a number. You just go like
Aw.
1 to 16.
Okay.
Production
This is
took
so
care of Soju
hard.
for you. Don't worry, it's fine.
This is so hard. I don't really know Setsuko. Like I've never really like watched him play. I know Kurum's cracked.
Wait, is Meltonheart? Did Meltonheart decline?
No, I think he didn't. Did he not qualify? He
Yeah.
came really close. I think he was
Yeah,
like in the
Melton Hart was the first out, and the reason that Melton Hart got a team in GSS is because Sox could not play GSS.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, Sox, you're in chat with like a 2-day-old? Congrats, buddy.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, this should have made our news.
Yeah, it
Sox
should have,
is
for sure.
Yeah, it was a very spontaneous thing. We prepped the notes beforehand, but congratulations to Mismatch
He's
Sox.
sleeping. It is lit. Whenever he's sleeping, it's lit, my friend. Trust me. All right, back to the tier list.
Yes.
I don't know
okay.
how to like give him like an actual number because they're like all so cracked to the point where it's like I'm not even close like good enough to be able to like nitpick like the little nuances or that would like determine like whether like who's number 1, number 2, number 3.
I'm not just a
Dan,
racist list.
Dan, I'm down to pivot to Soju doing the
Okay,
list.
I'm down to pivot to Soju too.
Good effort, Prestivent. We got
Okay,
your top
okay,
eight. We got your top 8
first-
because you mentioned some other names like Sox and Kurum and all of them. So let's
Okay,
try-
also
let's
another
do it again.
exception, Bryce. Like I know I'm saying a lot of exceptions, but
proving my
Spencer's
point.
also an exception.
Yes, I agree. Spencer is an exception.
But that's not because he's not like trying. It's literally because he's not trying. Like
Yeah.
he's just griefing on purpose.
Well, wait, that is a huge part of ladder play is that you play. First of all, you're not always trying. Second of all, you're constantly playing against other people who are also
No,
not
but that's
trying.
like an exception though, because a lot of these players, like let's say the Dawnbringer Cup or the Nightbringer Cup, like those players are just bad. You know what I mean?
It depends on who we're talking about with the graphic back up. It depends on which player we're talking about, and I agree that some of those players that have qualified for that are some of the weaker players in the field for sure. But again, I think all of this does really prove my point, which is you have a lot of exceptions to this rule, and again, comparing playing on ladder with a whole bunch of people who aren't trying and a whole bunch of people that are even worse in skill level than the players that you're saying are bad that qualified through the Nightbringer Cup or whatever, and comparing that to like the best 16 players all playing against each other seems like a very false comparison to me.
I gotta
Okay,
stop
it's
your
okay.
tier list. I gotta stop
I'm
your
not
list.
just
You're
agree to
moving
disagree.
the
It's okay.
goalposts. That's not what this agree was about. It was whether or
Fair
not
enough.
there are ladder warriors. And Soju saying people who have that LP have earned it. That
Fair
was
enough.
the basis of it. It's not
Okay,
about
so I think
who
15,
are
16
playing.
is really obvious. I think everyone would agree. It's Musil and I Miss Void Sins. I think the mid-set finale is the players that you're playing against in the mid-set. Okay, I went 28th in that tournament, but it's okay. Like, don't worry about it. But anyway, I think I Miss Void Sins and Musil are for sure the weakest. I don't really know either of them, so I don't really want to like. I don't even know who's 15 or who's 16. So I'm not to just do like alphabetical. So like I Miss Void Sins is probably 15 just for alphabetical. But anyway, I think first place. I think it's probably Socks. I strictly believe that I'm probably biased because Milk is my like good friend, but I think Milk has a higher cap than Socks. But I think Socks right now is 20 times better than Milk. I think Milk right now is actually like really out of form because me and Q were watching him play yesterday, and it was fucking like it was tragic, like how bad he was. But anyway, I think second place is probably going to be.
Oh.
I think second place is going to be. No, I told him. Don't worry, I told him already that like he's.
Okay,
he's
we said
trolling.
on too. We said me and Bryce kind of flamed him on cast too a little bit. We're like, I
No,
don't
he's
know,
really
man.
good at playing with low resources, but he's really bad at playing with a lot of resources. But like that's like good for. Like I think he'll be informed. But I think one is Socks is like uncontested. And then I think second is actually probably going to be I think it's Pocky. Like dude, but this Pocky guy, he's so good. Like he's actually like he's like Ramkev but better. Basically like limit test and just plays like random shit. No, don't put that because Ramkev is also really good. Okay. And then I think an easy third, it's probably going to be. It's actually probably. Oh man, I don't even know. I feel like everyone else, it doesn't even matter. I think there's a clear two favorites. Oh wait, it's Milk. It's Milk. What the fuck am I saying? It's Milk. Okay, third is Milk. Sorry.
Wait,
Really? And then no, he'll be informed. I trust in him. And then I think fourth is probably going to be. It's probably New Bell.
After
and
all
then
that
fifth-
flack about him being in top 3, you put him 4th.
Wait, what?
You gave Prestivent grief for putting Nubel in top 3, and you're like, I don't think he's top 3.
No, but he's fourth. I mean, it's not top 3. There's no way because top 3 is already reserved. You know.
He did say there's a big gap. Big gap.
No, there's a gap. It's like top 3 is, and then everyone else is the same. Like honestly,
Yeah.
I think top. It's not a big gap, by the way. It's probably like a 55-45, but like everyone else is probably like a 52-48. It's probably. I think the better players are probably going to be. Robin's good. Okay, I think it's probably. I think it's Spencer. Spencer's probably 5th.
Oh, that's a hot take.
That's a hot take.
Only because of the names that you're leaving out in 5th. Why do you think Spencer's 5th?
I mean, he doesn't really play the game. And he scored like, I think the 3rd overall most points. He got griefed by Aegon. Like I think Aegon's a good player, but he just griefed that tournament. Or did he even play? No, he didn't even play with Aegon, did he?
He did.
Oh, he did.
went
Yeah.
Jump
Aegon was
like
just straight up
every
briefing.
game.
Every single game, I think Aegon won like 8-8-8-8.
Yeah.
And then Spencer's like 1-2-2-1. But like Spencer doesn't even play the game. He's actually like I call him the MMR assassin because what he does is he stays low LP, then he snipes your game, and then he just griefs your MMR because it's like, yeah. Oh man, I think Robin's really good. Oh. Okay, it's probably Robin 6.
Robinsons.
I'm actually down to do Robin above Spencer. I think Robin's probably better than Spencer.
He's really, really consistent in tournaments. It's probably like the underrated aspect about Robin is that he actually puts on very consistent performances in tournaments.
And then I think it's probably Ramkev. No, it's probably not Ramkev. I think Ramkev is good though. Like here, it doesn't even matter. Okay, let me just start from 14. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I feel like. Okay, I think 14 is probably. But I mean, if you talk about right now, it's easier. But I think it's probably. Dude, what? Like, there's no
Yourself?
gap.
Are you about to put yourself in 14, bro?
No, 4 to 14, there's no diff. There's actually no diff. Or not 4 to 14. 7. Yeah, it is 4 to 14, but 7 to 14 is 100% no div. Honestly, 4 to 14 there's no div, but I think 1 to 3 is pretty locked.
If there's no diff, then why are you struggling so hard to place names?
No, because there's a small diff. You know what I mean? It's not like no diff. There's a small diff. Okay, I think 14 is probably going to be. It's probably Goobums. Then 13 is probably Kurum.
Damn, Kurum.
And then 7 is probably going to be. It's probably GB8.
Whoa.
He hasn't played the game, but he's good. He's good. Oh, and then Bert's also really good. I think 8 is probably Bert. 9 is probably. Wait, who's even left? Setsuko?
Yourself. Setsuko, yourself.
Setsuko, me, Kyun, and who?
Kyun and
Ramkev?
Ramkev.
Fuck. Okay, I think 9 is probably. It's probably Setsuko.
Interesting.
I think 10 is me. I think 11 is Ramkev. And then I think 12 is Kyun.
Okay, and this is where you expect the strength to be come regionals time, right?
Yeah, but I don't get me wrong. I think that 1 through 3 has a slight edge. 4 through 14, there's almost no gap. And 15, 16, there's a massive gap.
So,
okay.
Soju, I think there are some fairly large gaps in here, and I am very down for some side action if you want to draft this field where we each like get to draft 5 players and whoever scores the most points wins. I'm super down for that.
Ooh,
okay, I'm down. Can I just drop my 1 through 5 or what?
No,
you
take
can draft
turns.
third.
That's not how drafting works. So
what?
Oh, really? Oh, I thought you just disagreed.
No, that's like obviously there's some.
No, how about you just choose 5 players and I choose 5 players?
No, it's gotta be draft format.
Yeah,
we don't want to overlap with each other. So like you would go first, and then I would pick picks 2 and 3, and you would take picks 4 and 5.
Right. So you basically take first pick, and then Bryce would get second, third pick.
Okay, and then we just pick until 5 players.
Yeah, I'll take notes on this. I want to give our producer.
Okay, do you want to wager for this?
Yeah, I do.
How much do you want to wager?
There's no amount of money you can name.
Oh,
wait, what?
He just said he gave you a
can't
blank
name you can't name a number that's too high for me to agree to this.
Oh.
Okay, you want to wager 1K? Let's just do 1K. I don't want to lose too much money.
Down.
I'm down.
Okay, I'm down.
All right, you go first. I assume you're drafting
first pick.
Fuck. Okay, wait. Now that I'm first pick, okay. How about? Wait, if you're first pick, right? How does this drafting work?
Wait, put his tier list back up. We'll keep track of it separately. Leave the list up. Soju, you're gonna pick first, and then I'll pick second and third. So I'm gonna give you first pick. You can pick any player in the field.
Oh wait, no, you go first.
It's like League Champs luck.
Yeah, you go first. I want 2 picks.
It's gonna be snake format. So whoever goes first gets picks 4 and 5. So it's not like it goes 1, 2, 1, 2 or anything. Does that make sense?
Oh, wait. So what's better, to pick first or not?
It depends on. It basically depends how much you want socks.
I don't want socks that bad. I don't think there's a huge gap. I'm down for second pick.
Wait. I'm just gonna flip a coin, and I'm gonna be the arbiter.
I like it. I like it.
No, I'm down for second pick.
No, you don't get to choose, bro.
Okay, just rig the coin toss.
Flip a coin. All right, Bryce, heads or tails? Heads or tails?
Who, me?
Bryce,
Tails.
Bryce, heads or tails?
Oh.
I'll pick heads.
Okay. It's tails. Okay, so you pick
I want
first?
second pick.
Okay, so Bryce, you pick first.
Okay, I want Pocky.
Bryce picks Pocky.
Fuck. Wait, I want Pocky. Fuck.
Now,
this is why you should have taken first pick, bro. I literally offered it to you.
No, but you would agree though. Like Pocky is actually so good. Okay.
Pocky's so cracked. Pocky had a line in GSS where he like slammed blue buff in a spot no one would have slammed blue buff, and he was like 80 HP, 5'3", and like played a bunch of legendaries and Gwen carried, and I was like, no one other than Ramkev, maybe Sox plays this.
Okay,
line.
hold on. The thing is with Milk is this guy might just grief me, and I don't
That's-
even know if
that's
he
part
wants
of
to
this.
keep. Okay, no, I'll talk to Milk. Okay, I'm choosing Sox and Milk.
Okay.
Sox and he's just picking his Twitch rivals team. All right.
Okay.
All right. Bryce gets 2 picks. I'm taking notes. Don't worry. I'm taking notes.
Okay, I definitely want Robin, 100%.
Robin songs.
This rat. This is stealing
Milk says
everyone.
You're getting outdrafted so hard, bro.
And then I want Bert.
Woo! Good picks. I like Bryce's team. Can I?
Oh,
press
I
the
know,
last
I
side bet?
know, I have an edge in this because I'm looking at
Desmond,
this.
you want to
man's
side
tier
bet their team? I think.
All right, fuck it. I'm just gonna pick my friends. Fuck it. Okay. Oh wait, am I picking? Wait, am I picking 2?
Yeah,
you pick two.
And then you pick 2 and I pick 1. Or,
Correct.
Correct.
What the? Okay, I feel like picking first is actually better.
I literally offered to you.
Okay, I'm down to redo draft.
No. We're locked in.
Okay,
buddy.
okay.
Yeah, you play
Hold on.
stand.
Wait, I picked
Are you
2,
are you
right?
really not gonna pick yourself? By the way,
Oh no, I'll pick myself last because you're not
Okay.
gonna pick me.
you never know.
Others, I'm just gonna agree.
I actually think you're. I think on this list, I would have rated you higher than you rated yourself.
Not right now. Have you seen me play recently? It's an 8.
I think.
But
That
anyway,
I think that you will care by the time regionals comes around. Like I think you will want to do well in the same way that like if it had happened right after the patch came, or right after the set came out, you were a beast.
Unless mobile sponsorship, but yeah.
Yeah, unless yeah.
Okay, wait, so I'm picking 2, right?
You pick 2, yeah.
Wait, who did you pick? Robin Burt?
Pick
I have
and
Robin Burton pocket.
Okay, so like you generally do agree with my tier list though, right?
What are you
'Cause it's
talking
like-
about? If I picked in your order, my picks would be I would pick Sox.
No,
first,
but like the
and
top 8 are like pretty top 8, you know?
I have 2 more picks. We're about to find out.
Okay.
I'm not gonna tell you who I like.
Okay, I'll pick fuck, should I just pick for fun? Okay, I'm down. I believe in Kian.
That's an excuse,
I'm actually
bro.
I think with this wager going on, and I'm gonna motivate them to actually play. I can motivate Kian for sure.
Okay.
So I think Kian, like I think the reason Kian is this low, by the way, not because Kian's bad, it's just that he doesn't care. Trust me. But I think with this wager, he's gonna care, and I'm going to care. So I'm actually excited that we're doing this wager. I'll choose Kian, and I'll choose. Fuck. I'll choose GV8.
You choose GV8. Okay, so you have Q and GV8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ramkev, I need an actual answer to that question. Are you gonna try for real?
No. He's
Ram says
he's
I'm gonna
try
clap
super
cheeks.
hard.
Ramkev, no meme for a second because I'm about to pick you, but I want to make sure that you're actually gonna try. Because if you're just gonna for fun this tournament, then that's
No,
not
he's
a
gonna
good
try. Dude, Udyr 3, it's coming out.
No. It's not. If Ramkev is playing, if Ramkev is taking this tournament seriously, he belongs in the top 3, no doubt in my mind. I need a confirmation, Ramkev. Please say something in chat.
He said
Okay.
he's gonna clap cheeks. He says he's gonna clap cheeks.
Yeah, but that's like so. The thing is, whenever I go into a tournament, I'm casting Ramkev. I always DM him on Discord. I'm like, "You can try for real," and he always responds something along the lines of, "I'm gonna clap cheeks." And I'm like, "Okay, but really, are you actually like playing the game seriously today?" And then like yesterday, for example, I sent message and then he was like, "It's 50-50." And I'm like, "All right, so you're not taking it seriously." All right. I'm picking Ramkev 100%. I got my boy.
Okay.
Okay, I have one more pick. Okay, Spencer's still on the table.
Were you gonna pick GV8 by the way, by any chance?
I would have seriously thought about GV8 in this slot. Yeah.
Okay.
Last pick for Bryce. Pocky, Robin, Burt, Ramkev +1.
Spencer, are you gonna sweat this?
Oh, he is gonna sweat really hard.
Spencer, are you actually gonna sweat this? 'Cause I'm pretty sure you're the best pick left if you're actually gonna sweat it.
Spencer, just check
Hands
PayPal,
up for
bro.
real?
just check PayPal.
I'll cover the EV as well for regional.
No, come on, no tampering. Also, by the way, we're not gonna talk anymore about.
Yeah. Well, there's no money on this. This is just
There's
for
no
pride.
money. This is all pride. Kipo.
Wait, what?
So you just,
Wait, we were-
you're good.
Just check that shit.
Okay. You have. So this is tough for me because I really want to pick Spencer. But you have Kurum criminally underrated on this list. Like Kurum is 13. Kurum belongs in the top 8. And so it's like tough for me to not pick him, but Spencer's left. All right, I'm picking Spencer. But I think
Okay,
Kurum,
I'll pick myself.
Yeah, pick yourself. But if you want, would you be down to pick one more player and give me Kerm and you can take anyone left on? Like if you want Setsuko, you have him four people higher.
No.
Come on, you have him. You ranked him 4 people higher. You don't.
No,
want
because my squad is just like all my friends. And then like if you steal Kurum, then it's just like I have to invite someone that I don't really talk to.
Okay. All right.
So Soju's list is Mismatch Socks, Delicious Milk GG, Kiyun, Grand Vice 8, and himself, K3 Soju. And then Bryce is Pokygum, Robin Songs, looks like we forgot a couple letters here, Bertosaurus, Ramkev, and Spencer.
Wait, okay, Bryce, you're fucked. You're actually fucked.
Are you? I outdrafted you so thoroughly.
What?
In a tournament,
okay, I would say up the wager, but I don't really want to lose that much money, so.
Wait, look at the... Oh.
I promise you this. If you pull chat right now which team they want, I would beat you in a landslide.
No, the thing is,
so
the thing
thoroughly.
is, me, Milk, and Kyun are actually really good.
Yeah,
it's not even copium. It's just that we don't care. But the thing is, now that we're wagering, we're gonna fucking care.
Listen, I win either way because if you guys come into this tournament really caring, then I get to cast an awesome regionals with 3 of the players that are really good, actually taking it seriously for a change, and I would be a joy to watch you guys hard sweat. So if you guys beat me in this, it's going to be because you guys took it really seriously and played great. I'm happy, and if not, then I just destroyed you.
Okay,
right.
okay.
Well,
I'm down.
That's all that needs to be said, I think. That needs to be said. We did a chat poll. This is the biggest voting we've ever had, biggest voter turnout we've ever had. Twitch chat poll. And it looks like it's going to close in a minute or so. But right now, Bryce has a slight edge here. 55-45 in favor of Bryce.
Boom.
Wow.
Nah, they don't know. They don't know.
Oh, they know.
No, they don't know. Just trust me.
Can I hop in on this bet? I want to bet on my boys. I'm betting on Milk, Kyun, and my...
Yeah, we'll talk about that after.
Yeah, we'll talk about
Hypothetically,
hypothetically, allegedly, if we were betting, which obviously we're not. Yeah.
All right. Well, that does it for the regional finals tier list. I think, without a doubt, the most fun I've had making a tier list so far. But that's actually okay. So Soju actually asked who is like some of the best guests on the show. Soju's definitely fun to have, but when it comes to tier list time, man, this man never fails to deliver. It's just it's very, very fun. Let's go ahead and look at what else we have left of this show, because I know we're at to close it pretty soon. Oh, we have to do the question, the mailbag, and giveaways. So there's two components to this. There's going to be a giveaway for this question, and there's also going to be a question in the chat that you can ask Soju and Prestivent. And if they will pick one of these questions, and you'll get $10. That's right. So you can get money directly from Soju and Prestivent if they pick your question, but you have to type in Twitch chat. So we'll start off with this, and then we'll head over to Twitch chat questions. This one's from Bruce-sama for Soju and Prestivent. What do you like the most and hate the most about the other? So Prestivent, would you like to go first?
Sure. Oh, wait, can I talk about like his TFT play?
Yeah, this is open-ended.
Okay.
You can do anything you want.
One thing that I really like about Michael's like TFT play is that, okay, well, number one, I think he's like, we talked about this earlier, like, you know, like natural talent and all that stuff. I think he's actually like really talented, and like he like learns like really fast compared to like lots of people. So like you know, if there was like a graph, he would like go like, he would be like really steep. The thing is, one thing I don't like about it is that like he's really lazy. So like that's just like, this is like personality. He's like also really lazy. So like the thing is, like, even though he learns like extremely fast and he like is like, you know, like I feel like his cap's like actually really high. He like doesn't reach the cap because he doesn't like super sweat all the time. Where I think he could actually be like really good.
Oh, I'm sweating for the regionals now. Bryce, you're
Hell yeah. Like I said, I went either way, man. I'm a happy camper over here.
I love this. Okay, so Prestivent answered. Soju, it's your turn. What do you like and hate the most about Prestivent?
Okay, I think Prestivent is really good at taking criticism. But sometimes I think that Prestivent doesn't respect me as a player.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Like when I coach him, sometimes he's just like doesn't think I'm a good, like, I'm like qualified to coach him.
Really? He just complimented you. He just says he thinks you're really good.
I think he can be really good. Like extremely good. So I feel like he learns really fast and his cap is like pretty high. But he does get pretty lazy.
No, I do agree. I get really lazy.
Okay. All right. Well, Burusama, thank you for the question. This was one of our winners from the Discord. Here's some questions from the chat. Prestivent, why don't you do the honors here? Pick a question from the one that Risa just pasted in our group chat, and answer. Just pick whichever one is the winner there. But you have an opportunity. And I think right now, as he's picking, I'll just let you know that questions have closed. So thank you to everyone who submitted. We have like 10 candidates so far in the chat. And I guess, do you have one precedent that you like?
Oh, I feel like some of them are like you know like yes or no, or lots of them are like yes, just like yes or no questions, or
Yeah.
just like
Maybe
You can pick a
Pick
not yes
something.
or no question.
yeah, picking. No, what about the last one there?
oh okay, yeah, I'm down for that one. What is the most important aspect of TFT that you can directly improve on to get better? Or holy crap, I don't even have an answer.
Should have picked a yes no one then.
Oh my god, I probably should've. Okay, but I think that's actually like a really good question. And I think like probably like the best aspect to improve, like if you're like say like a relatively like newer player, or like you know like not like as good as like nearly as good as like people like on like the top end, which is like I feel like which is me, because like I'm not nearly as good as them. I think the most important thing to like get better on is, or I feel like experience, or just getting getting more experience is probably the most important aspect, because then you're like because like the more experience you get, like you can actually learn how to like to play the game instead of like say like you know like all the you're talking about it earlier, it's like some like the Z something, like I feel like my version of, like the Z thing, because like I'm like really new, is like cav players, like MF cavs, like people who climb like playing MF cavs, like they're like not, like I don't want to have like I don't want to like make it sound like I have like an ego when I say it, but like they're like not good, because like the comp is just like beyond like ridiculously broken and like one dimensional. Like I feel like just getting more experience and playing more is probably the most important aspect to improve in TFT, because then you actually learn how to play the game, like learn how to play like more flexibly, and like you know like you learn how to like play with like what you're given, rather than just like have like tunnel vision on like one thing. I don't know if that's like a good answer.
I agree. I think that when you play to learn. If you go eighth, you learn more than going first. You go seventh, sometimes you celebrate because seventh is better than eighth. In like some games, like you actually clutch out like a guaranteed eighth to a seventh, or like a sixth or a fifth, and like maybe even a top four. But I think that like even if you win the game, sometimes you play bad and win the game. Sometimes you play well and you go sixth. Like you shouldn't get tilted off placement, because when you get tilted you just enjoy the game less. So like you play for fun and you play to improve, and if you actually want to be the best, it's actually just like be critical of yourself, but like don't the biggest advice is don't look at placement, because just because you won the game doesn't mean you played well. I think when you win the game, chances are you just omega high rolled. Sometimes you do take like a top four spot into a first, but sometimes you take like a guaranteed first into a third, and that's like worse than the other, you know.
True. And I think that's a perfect way to wrap it up. Congratulations, Dead, on my screen. That was a very good prompt and got a serious answer out of Soju. That was really dope. And with that, we are closing out the show. One last glance at the regional finals draft. Some impromptu segments happened on this episode. Definitely one of my favorites. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. And you can't take it back. It looks like the draft is in.
53%. By the way, no one picked Nubal, which is criminal. For some reason I didn't realize he was still on the board, but it's okay.
Good, because it's about time that no one puts expectations on Nubal and he can pop off. He can finally just like get his due time for because I think he might be the only player that's like in that top 8 who hasn't had like a big tournament splash yet, compared to some of the others. Let's get some final words and wrap up this bad boy. Let's start things off with our guests. Prestivent, why don't you go first here?
Can I go second?
All right, Prestivent passes.
Wait,
Soju.
wait, what was the question? Shoutouts?
Yeah, final thoughts, shout outs, thank yous, comments, flame, ego, anything you want.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not really good at this. I was actually gonna say something. I was in Vegas with Barry, and then he was saying, so shout out to you, Bryce, because he was saying how fortunate we are to have you in like the TFT scene.
Thanks, man.
But also, we're like really fortunate to have Dan as well. So
For
like,
sure.
thank you
Woo!
guys.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, I have something to say.
Yes.
This upcoming tournament next week is about to be the freest. How much is first?
Just
place,
don't
man?
talk. Just don't talk, God. Like you
It's
don't
gonna
even
be
mean
the
that. You know we're the
freest
worst.
5K in my life.
It's 3K for first.
3K
Bro,
in
you're
my
not,
life.
dude. Ramblin' Robin already won. Just like,
Okay. Oh wait. How much
please.
is second place?
Oh yeah, I'm down for second.
2K,
I'm down
2K,
for second.
2K.
Okay, this is about to be
Oh,
the
we can high roll
freest
into a
2K
first.
of my
Low-key.
life.
Like we can
Alright,
actually high roll
well,
into a first, but it's probably not likely.
That's great. Well, we'll be casting it, so I'll be looking forward to your dominance. Let's get some final words from Esportslaw, the man that we're lucky to have.
Man, this was fun. I'm like a half an hour later than I told my wife I was gonna be. I'm gonna go downstairs. She's gonna be pissed, and rightfully so, because she's been with our baby all day. And I was like, oh, I gotta do a podcast. But you guys, I just fucking love TFT. I love this community. I feel so lucky to be a part of it. I had so much fun being on the show tonight. Hopefully, I get to do it again sometime soon.
All right. Well, my shout out is very similar to Prestivent. Come tune in to the Giant Slayer series finale next Monday. Make sure to catch regionals to see whose draft team is going to win. I agree. That is even more exciting than who's going to Worlds right now, just because of recency bias. It's just my memory is filled right now with who should have drafted whom. But appreciate everyone who's tuned in. Make sure to follow the GiantSlayerTFT channel here. And if you also could do us a favor, follow the GiantSlayerTFT on Twitter as well. One of the best ways that you can support the TFT scene for free is to just follow and engage in some of our social media stuff, because then it helps us get sponsors, right? We get like things like the Ball Street app sponsor. That's largely due to the TFT community showing up. So being more active is what helps ultimately TFT continue to thrive. But I'm going to get off my soapbox now. So if you missed any part of this episode, make sure to check the VOD, and we'll upload it all to our podcast streams as well. So that does it for us from Esportslaw, Frodan, Soju, and Prestivent. Thanks for watching this episode of Teamfight Talk Show, and we'll see you next time for more TFT action.